She didn't argue anymore. That was the end, not the beginning of the end. The end itself, not warning sign. Final sign, not first indicator. Last indicator? You thought it was peace? It was departure. Thought it was maturity. It was detachment. Thought it was growth. It was her being done. And you missed it because you were measuring wrong thing, tracking wrong metric, interpreting silence as improvement when silence was ending. Arguments mean investment. Conflict means caring. Fights mean someone still believes outcome matters. When arguing stops, it's not because problems are solved. It's because she stopped believing solving them matters, not because. Relationship improved because she stopped caring if it improves not, because you're finally compatible, because compatibility no longer matters to her. She stopped arguing the day she stopped needing you to change. Stopped fighting the day she stopped wanting relationship to work. Stopped engaging the day she accepted ending as inevitable. And here's how you know this is what happened. You noticed when arguments stopped. You felt relief, thought finally we're past the drama. Finally we're stable. Finally we have peace. That relief was the warning you missed. That peace was the death you didn't recognize. That stability was the ending you didn't see. Because what you gained in peace, you lost in her investment. What you achieved in stability, you sacrificed in her engagement. What you won in no conflict, you paid for in her departure. She didn't stop arguing because she got what she wanted. She stopped arguing because she stopped wanting. Didn't stop fighting because you changed. Stopped fighting because she stopped caring if you change. Did and stop engaging because relationship improved. Stopped engaging because relationship no longer mattered. This is the truth that's hard to accept. The reality that contradicts what you believed. The mechanism that operates opposite to expectation. You were told healthy relationships have no conflict. Mature partners don't fight. Stable connections are peaceful. But you weren't told that sometimes no conflict means no investment. Sometimes not fighting means not caring. Sometimes peaceful means dead. Silence has two meanings. Peace has two types. No arguing has two causes. First meaning, first type, first cause is resolution. Problem solved, issues addressed, compatibility achieved, relationship healthy. Second meaning, second type, second cause is detachment. Problems irrelevant, issues don't matter, compatibility unnecessary, relationship over, and second is more common than first. Detachment more frequent than resolution. Ending more typical than health. Because achieving true resolution is rare. Reaching genuine compatibility is difficult. Solving all problems is nearly impossible. But reaching detachment is easy. Arriving at not caring is simple. Deciding relationship doesn't matter is straightforward. Stop caring and arguments end. Stop investing and fights cease. Stop engaging and conflict disappears. Immediate peace, instant quiet, effortless stability. But peace from detachment, not resolution. Quiet from departure, not compatibility. Stability from ending, not health. You experienced second type, lived second meaning, got second cause. She stopped arguing because she detached. Fights ended because she stopped investing. Conflict disappeared because she stopped engaging. And detachment happened in specific moment, at specific time, through specific trigger. Moment when she realized arguing wouldn't change anything. Time when she understood fighting was pointless. Trigger when she recognized you weren't going to become what she needed. That moment, that time, that trigger, that's when she decided. When she concluded. When she determined. Decided relationship wouldn't work. Concluded you weren't the one. Determined ending was inevitable. And decision made arguing pointless. Conclusion made fighting useless. Determination made conflict irrelevant. Why argue if decision is made? Why fight if conclusion is reached? Why conflict if determination is final? She stopped because outcome was already determined. Ceased because ending was already decided. Ended engagement because departure was already concluded. From that moment forward, relationship was over for her. From that time onward, she was just managing exit. From that trigger on, she was preparing to leave. But you didn't know, didn't see, didn't recognize. You just noticed arguments stopped and felt relieved. Relief was exactly wrong response. Peace should have alarmed you. Quiet should have worried you. Because woman who stops arguing is woman who stopped caring. Partner who stops fighting is partner who stopped investing. Person who stops engaging is person who's done. And done means over, finished means ended, complete means departed. This is point of no return. The day she stops fighting with you, not fighting about you, fighting with you, not complaining about relationship, complaining to you about relationship, not expressing frustration about situation, expressing frustration to you about situation. To you means she believes you can hear, will hear, might respond, could change. When she stops bringing things to you, she stopped believing you can hear, stopped thinking you will respond, stopped hoping you might change, and stopped believing, stopped thinking, stopped hoping. These are stopped investing, stopped caring, stopped engaging. She didn't find someone else to replace you. She stopped needing you to be anything, stopped needing you to change, stopped needing you to improve, stopped needing you to become different, stopped needing you to be better. Not because you changed, because she stopped needing change. Not because you improved, because she stopped requiring improvement. Not because you became different, because she stopped caring about difference. You became irrelevant to her needs, unnecessary to her wants, unimportant to her requirements, and irrelevant, unnecessary, unimportant. These mean she moved on emotionally, detached psychologically, departed internally. Physical departure follows emotional departure. Official ending follows internal ending. Actual leaving follows psychological leaving. But emotional happened first. Internal occurred before official, psychological, preceded physical. The day arguments stopped was the day emotional departure happened. Time fights ended was time internal ending occurred. Moment conflict disappeared was moment psychological leaving began. Everything after that was just timeline to physical, just countdown to official, just progression to actual. You were living in relationship that already ended for her, existing in connection that was over for her, participating in partnership that was finished for her. She was there but gone, present but departed, staying but already left, and being there while gone, present while departed, staying while left. This is what managing exit looks like. This is what preparing departure means. This is what countdown to ending is. She stopped arguing because arguing requires believing in future together. Fights demand investment in relationship continuing. Conflict needs caring about outcome. And she stopped believing in future together, stopped investing in relationship continuing, stopped caring about outcome. Future together became irrelevant. Relationship continuing became unnecessary. Outcome became predetermined. When future is irrelevant, why discuss it? When continuing is unnecessary, why fight for it? When outcome is predetermined, why conflict about it? Arguments stop, fights end, conflict disappears. And you interpret as peace when it's departure, read as stability when it's ending, understand as improvement when it's being done. Here's what you didn't see, what you couldn't recognize, what signs you missed. She stopped asking you to change, stopped requesting you to improve, stopped demanding you to be different. Requests stopped not because you met them, because requests became pointless. Demands ended not because you fulfilled them, because demands became irrelevant. Expectations ceased not because you achieved them, because expectations became unnecessary. She stopped trying to fix relationship, stopped attempting to improve connection, stopped working on partnership. Trying stopped, not because fix was achieved, because fix became impossible. Attempting ended not because improvement happened, because improvement became irrelevant. Working ceased, not because partnership was perfect, because partnership was over. She stopped getting upset about small things, stopped caring about details, stopped reacting to behaviors that used to bother her. Upset stopped not because behaviors changed, because behaviors no longer mattered. Caring ended not because details improved, because details became irrelevant. Reaction ceased not because things stopped bothering her, because you stopped mattering enough to bother her. Each of these was signal, was indicator, was sign, but each was interpreted as positive, read as improvement, understood as relationship getting better, when actually each was detachment deepening, departure approaching, ending advancing, and here's the part that creates the most pain, generates the deepest confusion, produces the hardest acceptance. She didn't hate you at the end, didn't resent you, didn't feel anger toward you. Hate requires caring, resentment demands investment, anger needs engagement. She felt nothing, experienced indifference, had absence of emotion, and nothing is worse than hate. Indifference is more final than resentment. Absence is more complete than anger, because hate can become love, resentment can transform to forgiveness, anger can shift to passion, but nothing becomes nothing. Indifference remains indifference. Absence stays absence. There's no transformation from nothing, no shift from indifference, no change from absence. Nothing is terminal. Indifference is final. Absence is complete. She didn't leave hating you, left feeling nothing about you, didn't depart resenting you, departed experiencing indifference toward you, didn't exit angry at you, exited with absence of emotion about you. And absence is what happens after investment dies. Indifference is what remains after caring ends. Nothing is what exists after engagement ceases. Arguments were last evidence of caring. Fights were final proof of investment. Conflict was terminal demonstration of engagement. When these stopped, caring was already gone. Investment was already dead. Engagement was already finished. You wanted peace, you got death. Wanted quiet, got ending. Wanted no conflict, got no relationship. Careful what you wish for, cautious what you optimize for, aware what you strive toward. Peace without investment is death. Quiet without caring is ending. No conflict without engagement is finished. This doesn't mean conflict is good, doesn't mean fighting is healthy, doesn't mean arguments are desirable. Means conflict from investment is better than peace from detachment. Fighting from caring is healthier than quiet from indifference. Arguments from engagement are more desirable than no conflict from absence, because conflict from investment can become resolution. Fighting from caring can transform to understanding. Arguments from engagement can evolve to compatibility. But peace from detachment only becomes ending. Quiet from indifference only leads to departure. No conflict from absence only results in termination. She didn't argue anymore, and that was the end. Not the beginning, the end itself, not the warning. The conclusion, not the sign, the completion. Relationships don't end when arguments are loudest. End when arguments go silent. Don't terminate when fighting is strongest. Terminate when fighting stops completely. Don't finish when conflict is most intense. Finish when conflict disappears entirely, because loud arguments mean someone still cares. Strong fighting means someone still invests. Intense conflict means someone still engages. And caring, investing, engaging, these sustain relationships. These maintain connections. These preserve partnerships. When these die, relationship dies, connection dies, partnership dies. She didn't argue anymore because she didn't care anymore. Stopped fighting because she stopped investing. Ceased conflict because she stopped engaging. And stopped caring, stopped investing, stopped engaging. These are stopped being in relationship, stopped participating in connection, stopped existing in partnership. She was physically there, but emotionally gone. Officially present, but internally departed. Actually staying, but psychologically left. The day arguments stopped was the day relationship ended. Time fighting ceased was time connection terminated. Moment conflict disappeared was moment partnership finished. Everything after was just formality, just timeline, just countdown. Countdown to her physical departure. Timeline to official ending. Formality of actual leaving. But real ending already happened. True termination already occurred. Actual finish already completed. The day she didn't argue anymore. That was the end. Tomorrow we'll look at something that will make you question everything you did. You became everything she asked for and lost everything she felt. Where doing everything right led to losing everything that mattered.